So hi guys, today we are again gonna do a weekly recap on all of the trades I took the past week, from 29 June till 2 July. Okay, so before going into the video, we can look over here in the executions coming from, I believe this one. Yeah, this was Monday, of course. I caught the low of the week, bottom ticked it right over here. This was the low of the week, and then I longed on Tuesday as well over here, and then I longed on Wednesday over here, and then I longed on Thursday about here, and calling it a week over here. Since Friday was bank holiday, I didn't trade it. Again, trade breakdowns is posted, daily reviews are posted for all the trades I took, and outlooks are also posted. Before the move happened, I called it before in this outlook. It's all for free in the Discord. Link is gonna be in the description. So let's jump in right into the video. Okay, let's start from the daily. If you look what last week did, we basically repriced inside of this daily order block from 10 June. We tapped there on Friday and we formed a reversal. So from Monday we can expect price to push back up since we formed a reversal, of course, into what? Into this bearish OB. Why this bearish OB? This was the only PD area that was left unfilled in this price range. So this is what our drawn liquidity is. Until we hit it, we are expecting buys. After that, we look how we have the open of the week, which is over here, 1800. Of course, we had the reversal before, so over here we had the reversal. This low is protected. This low rebalanced the reversal, meaning this is also protected. And in like when market was about to close on Friday, we also formed another protected low, rebalancing this low to this highs range. So we have three protected lows. These are not failure swings in my eyes. After that, we open and we straight expanded higher. Now notice this expansion over here. Let's go on 15-minute. Look at this expansion. The open, expanded, came back lower, and then this is not expansion. This is a build up from here to here. This is not how expansion looks like, right? Expansion usually looks like this or this, straight big candles. But since we know this isn't the expansion and this is a build up, what does that tell you? Usually when we have a build up like this, we hit something relevant on the high time frame, we usually dump to take all the build up and then reverse back up. So this is where your entry should be. And this is what I was looking at on Monday. We had that build up, we hit something relevant on the high time frame, which was 4-hour rejection block about here. We tapped there, we dumped. Where can we go? We can actually take out this low and then look for reversal. But if you're coming lower to take out Asia low, you can also step out the 1800 low from the open, the Asia session. Why this low? Because usually you have to understand something, right? For every single high time frame candle, it should be an open, low, high, close, or an open, high, low, close. So in this case, we had the open, and then we had expansion higher. Okay, let me just make it more clear. So we open, expand higher, came back lower, build up. Now this candle is not an open low. It's a open and expansion higher, basically open higher. So in terms of we being bullish, we have to see an open low, right? This is why at 9:30 or 9:45, market reversed lower to create that open low for the week, to then expand higher for the New York AM session. In that framework, I had these levels. I just went on the straight min afterwards, and I look for entry when we stepped out that low. That's how we stepped out this low about here, and then like when this candle opened, believe a long's like made over here. My SL goes below this low, and what I could have targeted is basically the New York M session high, which is gonna give me 500 points, or I can target my high time from drawn liquidities, or it can just go, you know, it just ran. And this is low of the week, so yeah, pretty much it. I just targeted like EQ of this range because I trade high risk, so I don't usually hold for longer times, you know. Yeah, my TP was like right there for 221 points, and just like that I caught 221 points. Again, I'm gonna show you the executions, which is over here. This was on 29 June, right? Now let's go on to the Tuesday. Over here we are still bullish. We are bullish until we hit the daily order block to even look for sell. My drawn liquidity for Tuesday was mainly this high. By this high because it's a clean market maker buy model. Even though I don't trade MMXM, it was a clean one. So we have the original consolidation, SMR, and then low risk buy and continuation entries, of course. So this is my target, right? Now, if you look over here, we opened and we accumulate. We open and we accumulate. Pretty clean. In Asia, we manipulated, taking out the accumulation lows. Now, understand this. Usually when price expands higher after reversal, so we have the reversal over here. Usually when price expands higher and it starts a range like this usually indicates that soon price is gonna reverse. So that means that price will not come lower to rebalance this range. No, it's not gonna rebalance this EQ because it's ranging. So what you can expect is a small swoop of the range low to then continue higher towards the draw to then reverse later on in the week and rebalance the range at that time. This is how you understand narrative. Same thing happened over here. So we expand higher. This range, this low to this high will not get rebalanced. Why? Because it's gonna get rebalanced later in the week, and that's what happened. If we mark out the OTEs, you're gonna see that on Thursday, we balanced the OTE of this week, and then we reversed back up. So yeah, I was not looking for a deep retracement back into Monday's range. I was looking for a continuation back up. So notice over here, we manipulated lower, expanded higher, and then we started to what? Accumulate. Okay, we have accumulation. Mark out your accumulation. Now what do you expect? Price expanded higher, but we have accumulation. Okay, we have accumulation and then expansion higher. This accumulation is still there. The liquidity is still there. What do you expect? Expect price to come back lower, take out the liquidity, and then move up, protecting the low. So we have our objectives, which is right here, like about here. S-low is protected, of course. Let me just mark out. This is protected, and this is protected. So this is the low I'm looking for price to reverse off of to then hit my draw, first draw and the second draw eventually. And with that, we can go on the 1 minute. Over here, as you can see, we took out the low. We swept another liquidity pool, another lower time frame accumulation inside a higher time frame accumulation cycle, which is a A+ setup. Rejected, expanded higher, 930 opened, opened low, it expanded higher, and like once 930 closed, I just trade until long. My SL goes at the EQ of 930, and my targets were the draw on liquidity for 156 points. Pretty simple trade, of course. I could have longed over here, but I just needed a bit more confirmation, like a break in structure, and then expect a continuation back up. So this was the second trade. Let's go over the third trade. Wednesday. Wednesday, if you notice, we hit the wrong liquidity, we reversed lower. The thing is, after reversing lower, we didn't have a clean displacement over here. It's like this is displacement, but we didn't have a displacement, right? All we did was just accumulate. So like we accumulate here, we had this accumulation zones, and yeah, we just kept accumulating and moving lower. So at 9:30, I was expecting price to, of course, go back up at least towards this 15-minute OB, this one. And why this order block? Because if you look from Asia, we were dumping, retrace, dump, retrace, dump, and then we didn't have a retrace. So what do? Retrace. So I was trying to catch that retracement back into the order block, and yeah, that was my framework. After that, I had OTEs from the Tuesday's range about here. We had this, like, I believe it was this, yeah. We had this inversion, and we had this key. So whenever there are, of course, two inversions, there's a key, right? So this was my key, this black line. I just make it dark. This right here is the key. Okay, so I'm expecting price to reverse from here. And yeah, I was expecting price to tap here at 9:30, but it didn't, so it's okay. It actually tapped here at 9:30. Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let's go to 1 minute. It didn't tap exactly at 9:30, I remember. Yeah. So 9:30 open here. We trace back up. We dumped lower into the level at 9:35, right? We tagged the level. Now I'm looking for reversal, of course, right? So as soon as we tapped there, we had like a rejection along it right there. My hustle goes below this. I was eventually holding a bit higher, like about here. I didn't have a set TP if you look in the execution. So entry was like right here. I didn't actually have a set TP. So I closed it at like about 220 point, no, like 218 points, yeah, like about here. So like when we tapped there, I knew like high time frame is still bearish. Why? Because since I entered, I didn't see a clean displacement up. That means that these highs are protected, and we are not really gonna move up to there. So just TP over here for 220 points and call it a day. And we eventually reversed after it, of course. You can tell if we're gonna pump in your direction or not looking at the charts, of course. That was the third trade, making about how much? 220, 155, and 218. Around 550 or 600 points. And then, of course, it was the last day of the week, Thursday, since Friday was the bank holiday. Let's mark out the Thursday open, which is about here. Okay. Thursday we open. We actually did nothing in the open. We just open and just chop around. In New York session, we swept out this high. We repriced into this OB. This is our block right here. We tapped in the outer block, swept out Asia high, and then we had a reversal at 8:30. And at 9:30 or 10 we had a continuation lower. Now, like we were about, I believe we were at like the OTE of this week. Yeah, so we were like about here, and I woke up late on this day. So if you look in the outlook, I called it out. Just woke up. July 2. Yeah, July 2. Just woke up. I'm already done for the week. It's low probability week. So I woke up very late, like about 10:30. So I was just looking for a scalp, a small scalp, to call it a week. And I believe I came on charts about 11 a.m. I saw 11 a.m. open and we jumped slower, right? Now, the figure I used for this was very important. Look, let's just remove everything, okay? Look, on Monday we trolled to this low and then we expanded higher towards the daily OB and the 4-hour order block. Now look, this candle opened, swept out the fake low of the week and expanded higher, right? And this is the biggest candle for the whole week, right? It was about believe 757 points. Yeah, so this is the biggest candle for the week so far, while this candle didn't print. Of course this looks more bigger, and of course it is, but this wasn't really the big candle because it was still printing, right? And I took a trade inside this candle. So since this was the most biggest candle plus the low of the week candle, this rejection block is gonna be like way high probability to take any trades off of. So we had the 4-hour rejection block, plus it's the same rejection block on the 1 hour. So it's like two rejection blocks aligning with each other. And pretty much it. This was my level for the trade I took. I also had the fips. It's this, this. Okay. So I had the fips. The quadrants were also aligning with the rejection block, and that's all I needed. I straight went on the 1 minute. I noticed we tapped the fib over here, but we didn't tag the level. So I waited for the level. We tapped the level at 11:20, with 11 AM being a open low right here. Since we tagged the level and we closed above this quadrant, I longed straight off of that. Since like as soon as we closed above it along there, my stop was like, I didn't really had a stop loss when I longed. I waited for price to rebalance this OB, and then I placed my stop below this low right here, and I simply aimed for about 100 points, like it was about here, and that's how I caught like nice scalp for 120 points in about 11:21 until like in 15 minutes. And this is gonna be the executions or here, about 100 points, about 20 points. So pretty much it. Everything was called out beforehand in Outlook. Executions posted, daily review posted, plus rate breakdowns are also posted. In total, if we look, I made about 220 points here, 155 points here. I never calculate my own points, but let's just do it. 220 plus 155 plus 220 once again plus 120. It makes up 715 points on the week. Last week I caught about 800 points. Wait, let me see it real quick. Last week I caught 850 points, yeah, and this week I caught 715 points. So pretty nice month for me. And this month I've also showed my win rate and stuff. If you look here, I had over 82% win rate on June, with 2 trades being lost and the other being a win. So pretty much it. June is ended, and now we look forward in July to catching the same trades, of course. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, you can DM me on the Discord or ask them in the comments. And join the Discord server. It's free, and I teach there for free. Link is gonna be in the description. Until then, take care. Peace.